Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, we will be talking more about not a particular event like I usually tend to focus on, but as you can tell by the title, more of a broad, wide spread kind of concern that I have for this upcoming summer and really the remaining of the year, and probably this will continue into the years that follow. But first off, I do want to say that I kind of apologize for the lack of uploads. I haven't been uploading as much as I would like. It's been really busy. Part of I guess the deal with why I haven't been uploading is the reason behind the title of the video, and I'll explain that in just a minute if that confuses you. But yeah, let's just jump right into this. So I'm concerned about this upcoming summer's weather pattern, and I always make videos during the summer about concerns because usually summer is when we have more volatility. We have severe weather, we have hurricane season, we have wildfires and whatnot. But this is just an overall basis of how I think this summer will be, based off a bunch of extremes. So we've been hearing all about this, how these years have been becoming more extreme, and with their weather and changing climate, and really that is true. The reason I couldn't make a video, I planned on making one today, or the day before today, the day before, that, and the day before that, but for days I just failed because we went from having really cold temperatures in the spring to really hot temperatures. I mean, here in Chicago, my area, we've recorded 4 or 5 days, I think, of 90s in a row now for May, early May. This is absolutely unprecedented, and I like gardening, as many of you know, so I've been, staying kind of trying to prepare my garden for this, doing things that normally I wouldn't be doing, and that's why I haven't been really having time. But that's besides the point, because we are looking at a unprecedented already things that are very worrying. So right off the bat, the fact that we are seeing such hot temperatures, these fluctuations. We just went from a relatively chilly, cold spring, which really wasn't anything extreme, just cooler spring, to this explosion of this just extreme heat caused by a very strong storm system that I did want to make videos on right there, and you could see it's on these weather models. It's already pretty much over. There was a moderate severe weather risk, but just to show you how incredible this system really was, I want to show you the radar just a few hours ago in case you guys missed it. Throughout the video, I will be focusing on 4 to 5 several different things that make me kind of worried for this upcoming summer, and the first one being is just these large systems. So we've had already several of these pretty late into the year. You can see these spinning beasts. Usually, we don't really see them this late in the year, of these strength, but by themselves that may not seem too concerning. But with each one of these storms that is well organized and very well prepared, if you will, we see these surging anomalies of heat. Obviously, severe weather. I mean, look, potentially a snowstorm in mid to late May. That is pretty ridiculous. And while that is just a model outlook, look at this one. In case you missed this, look at the system that occurred today. The amount of rain squalls and thunderstorm lines and damaging potential events going on at this current scene at 8 o'clock today, earlier on. You could see, I mean, we had one right here, one to the north. It was just absolutely incredible. I mean, it was thunderstorms everywhere. The amount of coverage this had, anywhere from Wisconsin, the little peninsula right there, into Michigan, and all the way into North Dakota. Just these, extremely volatile system. Obviously, there was, hail, some tornadoes, but thankfully, in terms of the rain, at least this system was progressive, meaning that it kind of whipped out of here quickly. Now, there still are plenty of severe thunderstorm warnings and watches. Well, not severe thunderstorm, but sorry, flash flood watches and river flood warnings in the wake of this system. But yeah, this thing is powerful. And, these winds, this dry heat is another reason why we already have the biggest active burning wildfire in history. And this is in May. You may have heard about the New Mexico wildfire. It isn't the biggest fire in terms of acres burned, but the biggest active fire that is currently taking place. You could have the most destructive wildfire, but it could be small, just going bit by bit. But this one is just massive in terms of its scale. It's just unprecedented. So obviously that's caused by many things, many factors. But I want to show you this as we push into the future. Look at these temperature anomalies. So right, we've just had this extreme, absolutely extreme coloration many cities, or areas seeing very cool spring to just an absolutely absurdity in terms of the temperature anomalies. I mean, Wednesday, look at that area, right? Chicago, Illinois, Iowa, almost reaching the top limit of the chart in terms of anomalies. The West being quite a bit cooler, right? But some of these right there, those colorations, that is almost off the charts. And we do have cool air behind it. Obviously, severe weather thrives in these conditions. And you may think, oh well, it's just a one-time thing, and that is not the case. Look, as I put this forward, we do have a bit of a cool off. But look, see these little flare-ups of just a random area the size of Oklahoma and Texas that is almost 10 to 15 degrees Celsius above average. Albeit for one day, it's not super long lasting. It's still just shows you how extreme this pattern, this kind of the weather pattern is, if you will, the climate. It's probably more better to word it. And then we have this another system around the 20th that will develop again a very pretty big cold mass. The models show a snowstorm potentially, but they also show this incredible heat anomaly again across areas that could be dealing with drought, right, with the lack of rain. Wildfires, and again, these anomalies just soaring through the sky. If this were to occur in July, these type of anomalies, right, thankfully it's still May. Cities like Chicago right there with literally 20 degrees Celsius above average, that would be easily into the hundreds, probably 110, maybe even hotter. And that's just hard to think of for my area. But, it's happened before, but with this would be continuous for several days, and you can see that the cold anomalies are also pretty extreme. So severe weather again would thrive in these conditions. So the number one thing being is obviously the temperatures. The temperature anomalies are rather extreme. Look at that. What? I mean, this is, we're seeing these extreme and crazy anomalies occur more and more often. And the weather models are really supporting that yet again. And then look, we go from this warm pattern to this abruptly cooler pattern, which then gets also shifted about and turned into yet another emerging heat pattern right there. So really just an extremely extreme pattern. It's just goes from one extreme to the other, and that's the temperatures that obviously causes drought, and with the necessary winds that causes massive wildfires. So that kind of goes hand in hand, right? The drought and the wildfires caused by these temperatures. But I also want to focus and show you a few more things that I'm already concerned about when I'm looking at these weather models. So not only are these just extremes of temperatures, which by the way have an extraordinary impact on agriculture, and also just the safety of humans, with the wildfires and just heat stroke, heat exhaustion, with these type of the more obvious signs. But these will have long-lasting impacts for obviously animals and what's not, and agriculture especially. These type of conditions where you have one heat, cold that could be wiping out your plants with frost, to the next week with heat that could be killing your plants with the heat. It's not good. And notice that while we have these big systems, these unprecedented cold waves, unprecedented heat waves, these climate extremes. Look, the models have been for a few days now, and the point isn't that this hurricane or this system right here in the south, which I'm going to show you, will make landfall. Just the fact that they're showing such a strong system in late May, before even hurricane season, is of concern to should be of concern to everyone. And that's the other thing. I think this upcoming summer will be another probably historic hurricane season. We've seen consecutive seasons that have just been beating each one after the year, just beating their records. And this year looks really no different, especially with the La Nina summer that usually helps these type of which usually produces a more active hurricane season. Look at that, right? I mean, this isn't even June. Now, of course, this is a long range model. It goes far out, but this has been in the models for now a few days. You can see a consistent model run has been showing this nasty system. So this just goes to show you that these type of developments, these type of weather patterns, warmer oceans will produce probably more hurricanes. We just got the taste of what's probably to come in the past few years with these systems. And as much as I like to focus on America and southern Canada, I want to look out into the northern hemisphere and show you that these temperature anomalies are not limited to the U.S. whatsoever. And one area I want to point to is especially, area of Russia, Siberia, right there. Notice that we have these extreme anomalies right now, really, in the next few days will be occurring. Again, of similar proportion of what we've been seeing here across the U.S. For the past few days, it was a bit more progressive. This one's a bit more slow and obviously warmer in areas that don't really need it. But again, off the charts right there. But in terms of cold as well, I mean, you could see an unseasonable cool air mass across Eastern Europe there. You probably heard news about the extreme heat wave in India that has, from this looks, finally come to an end, at least the extreme part of the heat wave. But some of the hottest temperatures recorded there, and it doesn't seem that this summer will be coming back to normal anytime soon, if you will. It will probably just stay in this just weird pattern of anomalies. Notice, right, while we have extreme anomalies across Siberia right there into northern Russia, we have also, again, with that potential snowstorm, just these extreme cold anomalies. I mean, that one image that I showed you earlier, right here, is just chilling. I mean, the amount of cold air that would bring for this time of the year, right? That could almost bring frost. Now, obviously, this is far out again, right? But still, these far out predictions from the models have been becoming more and more extreme. And unfortunately, a lot of them have been coming true. Now, look at this peninsula right there by the Bering Sea. Look at that. Look how warm that gets and above average. Absolutely ridiculous. And that is, again, just a sign of these extremes that I think we'll be dealing with, which is why I'm concerned, right? Obviously, wildfires, we're already seeing that, mega droughts across, the West, just droughts across, temporary droughts, but still very disruptive droughts across the agricultural, Midwest, areas that typically, are absolutely, productive to their some of the most productive lands on Earth. We will be struggling with this, and then of course, hurricanes, loss of life, potentially flooding, these severe weather events like we saw today. Delivering more damage, extreme rain, flooding. Again, these are things that I think will be occurring more frequently. And they're not, again, they may not seem tied together, but just a climate of extremes will be, I think, going on. And we'll be seeing that. We'll probably be seeing big storms, huge heat waves out ahead of it, huge cool downs behind it, and as a result, massive wildfires and whatnot. So that's my biggest concern for this upcoming year. Now, obviously, this isn't, all doom and gloom, but it's just something that we have to reasonably expect, right? I mean, how many headlines can you read before you realize something is wrong with, these massive wildfires, these massive heat waves, these massive severe weather outbreaks, these massive hurricanes? It's just one thing after the other, and you put one and two together, and you realize that this is this is probably going to continue, and disrupt many lives. Obviously cause headaches at the minimal level and potentially kill or devastate many people, even if it's not you, right? It's just, and it might be you, who knows, right? So just something to be aware of, and just again, even in my 10 years of gardening, it has gotten harder each year, which 10 years is pretty novice. I'm sure there's gardeners that have been gardening for many years, but those that I've spoken with have said similar things. It's just gotten harder. It's been unpredictable, right? Heat waves in Pennsylvania, just torrential floods in Illinois, whatnot, wildfires in the West. There's videos of just mansions burning across the rich areas of California, right? So just everyone equally, I guess, impacted by this. No one's safe from this, and that's just Mother Nature. It doesn't have any limits, and its wrath is, something to be feared. So that is basically it. And I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. I'll be making more normal videos in the future. Just I thought this would be important to note, as it's pretty obvious, and it could be obviously a pretty big problem. So yeah, I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.